It's just a matter of working at it. Practice solves almost everything. And anytime you find yourself doing a mindless activity, watching television, staring out the window, whatever, everyone has time to do that. But what I did when I was a kid, if I was doing anything like watching TV or, just even if I did homework, which didn't happen very often, I would play the guitar like while I was thinking, just to have it in my hands playing. Not necessarily listening to what I was playing, but just being familiar with it, keeping it right there all the time. And even if you're not listening, it helps muscle memory. And whenever you're practicing, play with something that's in time. That's number one key. Because if you learn out of time, you play out of time.
I think also David mentioned before, a lot of times you associate speed with more tension. So just if you concentrate on playing fast, but with not associating that with gripping your pick harder, might make things a little easier too. And what also Clay said before is your efficiency of motion.
They play very fast at times, and he's not sweating. So watch his hand. He doesn't play fast the same way he plays slowly. It's not what he does slowly sped up to the faster tempo. It's a whole different strum. It's a different way of playing. It's well, it's probably needed, if I can take that leap, because it would be so much more difficult to do what he does slow at a fast tempo. If you can't, it's much more difficult. So I'm sure he's cutting corners in all the best ways, and he's hitting all the important things, what he thinks is important, what is important. He's covering his base, doing his job in a minimal amount of work. Watch his right hand. It's way cool. Just like when he's singing, sometimes it's not full strums. He's just hitting the bass notes, just keeping time so he knows where everything is. And then he's back to this. So who knows? Everybody does things different. Listen to the old guys. Listen to Lester Flatt. Lester Flatt was a great rhythm guitar player. Really good. You know who else is a really good rhythm guitar player? Is Pat Enright of the Nashville Bluegrass Band. It's not fancy. He's not going to throw a bunch of weird chords with numbers after them at you. He's going to play normal chords that you know, and you can watch him do it, and then you can go home and try to imitate it. And it's what he does is right, and it fits the band so well. Yes, sir.
You've got a way of slowing down fast solo, kind of like Clarence used to.
Yeah, I just play one note if I get by with it.
Is there any thought process behind it? You just need more space in it?
Yeah. You let a note ring or you don't, and you just let something else happen, and then you start playing again. You don't have to fill everything up. That's something Roland White had told me. The time's going to keep going whether you're playing it or not. And that's rhythm on rhythm too. You don't have to play that much.
Let's play something.
Sure. Thank you.
I played it with you.
Are you kicking? Good. Beaumont Rag? same song, because I know how I would do it, and so I'm expecting something along those lines, and it's always something different. And a lot of times, like just now, it's always something I would have never thought of that's cooler. It's like, whoa, I'd have never thought of that. That's cool. How in the heck did they do that? Which is my favorite thing.
One time, David came down to Chattanooga, and he was playing with the Psychographs, and they played a great show that night. And he came down to a radio station, and they were going to do a little blurb on the air. And he was standing there, and of course I was kind of in awe, and I tried not to say anything, or I tried to act cool. And he said, "Let me see your guitar." So I gave him, it wasn't this guitar, but it was another one. And when he played it, jeez, he sounded just like David Grier. And it was like, my guitar don't sound like that when I play it.
Which goes to show that it's not the pick or the strings or the capo. A lot of that is already, it's in your hands. Now, having said that, just to be contrary, picks and strings do make a difference, up to a point. Now, is a certain brand of string going to make you sound like Tony Rice? No.
But you know, when you got done playing my guitar, I felt better about it, because I said, well, man, this thing can sound pretty good.
That's the thing about it. Once they have all the strings, then they're fun. Feel pretty cool. Are there any other questions? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was thinking you got practice in
I never got there. That's it. I used to practice all the time, and I never looked at it as practice because I really didn't work at it. I'd play all the time, not just play songs I knew. And I don't read music, so I couldn't get a book to teach me any lessons. As a kid, yeah. As a teenager, yeah. Sometimes, yeah. Now, it's an hour a week of just barely playing. I'm not on the stage.
Yeah, that's me. I'm the same way. I used to play, I would come home from school and play until I was in bed. My cousin, my uncles, they used to go around and just set up and jam. Like they were all veterans. VFW halls, to the player. We would go there and play 5 or 6 hours, 3 or 4 nights a week. So and my uncle was a great rhythm guitar player. So I had an advantage there, being able to play with great timing. We play with people that had great timing all the time. Now, if I'm not on the stage, I'm not playing. I finish it off, record, I have been doing a little recording demos a little bit, but as far as actual practice, I don't have a chance to.
Well, I kind of started a little late in the grand scheme of things. I was about 14, and Little League and hiding Bluegrass from your high school friends. So when I did practice, it was probably the beginning there. I was pretty infatuated with it, so 4 or 5 hours a day until I remember I had that homespun Tony Rice CD, and I learned those 2 licks and played them. I wore them out, and I happen to sound best in the bathroom. Wanted to add that. It's the tile. It's all the tile.
Yeah, we've heard it.
Justin, he had CDs, and probably the rest of us here, we had actual vinyl records. And my mom worked on Saturday, and my dad worked in a steel mill, and he was off, so he liked Flatt and Scruggs. And I had all these 78s, and I wanted to play the banjo so bad. And my dad and his twin brother played banjo and guitar, but my dad got stuck with the guitar, so I never got to play the banjo till later, talking about 2 instruments. Play some banjo now, but my mom always wondered why the needles on our phonograph wouldn't last very long, because I was playing them all day Saturday while she was at work. and I would sit there by the Magnavox console. Yes, well, no. I was dropping the needle though, and because I was trying to learn some Doc Watson and I was trying to learn some Clarence White, and she always wondered why they don't make needles like they used to, because they never lasted as long, but it was my fault.
Actually, the first record I ever had was the Manzanita record, and my cousin was in the hospital over there, so my other cousin and I go to a record store. I was 10, and he was like, "If you're gonna play guitar, you need this record." And I was a 9 or 10-year-old kid in Washington D.C. and I had like $10. And I was gonna buy junk with it, those souvenirs, and he made me buy it, and I cried. I remember that. And then it turned out to be something that actually shaped the rest of my life. That one moment did, which is, looking back, really strange. And I don't know if it was a good idea or not.
My first record, the first one I ever bought for myself was a song in the Key of Life, Stevie Wonder. But the first record I remember asking for, well, there were two. There was Larry Sparks' record, Lonesome Guitar Mate, and the first Bluegrass Revival record. That was a good Christmas. The green one, I got them too, and a bunch of other crap. Yeah. Yeah, man, God, they was cool. It was new. You knew it wasn't your old man's bluegrass music. You know,
I went from flat and scrub to that.
yeah, all of a sudden. You remember the way they did Lonesome Fiddle Blues at the end of that? Each solo they did. That was cool as hell. I done that all summer. Whoever played with me at any time, hey man, let's do Lonesome Fiddle Blues. Me and my dad sat in front of the dang record player. Curtis Birch was their guitar. Did that lick. Man, what was really wild So that was like way cool. Flat Scrug's never done that. All of a sudden, like I'm cutting edge. Just because they done it, and me and Dad figured it out. So whoever jammed with me that summer had to be sick of Lonesome Fiddle Blues. But it was way cool. That's actually how I learned how to play up the neck, was that one lick all summer. And you know, you never vary it because you don't know nothing, but once you get up there, hell, you uncharted territory. So I had to do that one lick the same way over and over forever. And then pretty soon you do it so long, you get tired of it, and you don't pay attention, you make a mistake. And sometimes you'll hit a note that actually sounds good by mistake. It's like, what was that? That kind of was all right. And then you hunt for it again. And then you see what you did, if you could use it, figure out how to make that work. And the rest is history. Millions of dollars later. You know, any other questions? Good. One more dislike. No. Just try to get through the boat. Anything y'all want to bring up? Ask?
No?
Animal products for sale? Nothing. All right. Oh, this fella's got a pleasure art for him back there. All right.
I think it all depends. I mean, the tone you get with the phosphor ground's probably a little brighter.
Probably a little brighter, but it all depends on your guitar and your hands and your pick. I mean, it's on some guitars, the other ones may sound brighter. You know, it's just a matter of the instrument, hands, pick, everything. What's that? Yeah.
Well, yeah, experiment and see what's best for you. Now, while he was telling you the answer, his answer, Roy said, "No, I thought the 80-20s were brighter." And I had always thought the 80-20s were darker. But you ask the people who make the strings, they say, "Oh no, the phosphor is you know, good, but the 80-20's a little brighter." But I never, well, they'll tell you that, yeah, it's supposed to be that way, but I never heard it that way.
There may be no difference at all.
It
And
might
they're
be
just,
more-
it's just snake oil.
I think the Republicans use the 80-20s. The bronze is for the Democrats. That's the other way around it divided. So he says we got time for another one. Yeah. You do that? One of y'all can go? Yeah. Hey, you know that. I don't do any of these. We'll do that.
I just want to hear you play.
Thank you all. This will be our last number. Ever. There's another workshop after this, is there? Yeah. There you go. My suggestion is just stay in your seat so the new people can't really get in, then you can sell your seat.
I'm gonna play as much of the melody of this as I know. It may only be like 4 or 5 notes, but it'll be something.
That's decent, wasn't it? Those guys know what to do with the guitar, I've decided. Oh man! Be sure and go to the trade show downtown. Well, I'm still not awake from last night. Go downstairs and see Bluegrass Now at their booth, and have them show you a sample of their website, which is now their printed magazine. You can subscribe very, very reasonably on their rates are much lower now because of the lower print costs. Anyway, it's a great product. There's things you can do online, of course, you can't do with the print product, and I think when you go and check those out, you'll see the difference and you'll see why you need to subscribe to that, in addition to your print magazine of choice, whatever that may be. They are our sponsor, so we really appreciate it if you can come by their booth, because if they are not feeling it's working, then they may not be our sponsor next year. We may not have a workshop stage. I always want that to happen. If you like these workshops, and you'd like to see talents like this, go say something to them at the booth. It's important you do that. It helps them to know that investment's working for them. We do have an incredible family workshop. If you've been looking at it, we've got a stellar lineup already, and we thought one of them was not going to be here, and he is. And so I've added 2 more. So we've got a really big lineup, big names and big in quantity. We got 7 mandolin players coming in. So anyway, more the merrier in my book. Sometimes the players don't always feel that way, but these guys are all okay with the idea. We got Sierra Holt, Adam Steffi, Dan Tominski, Aaron Ramsey, Emery Lester, and Roman White. And now we also have Andy Leftwich from Ricky Skaggs' band. Had a surprise change of events, and he's here. So a lot of talented guys. I can't wait to see this happen. And again, don't forget about the sponsor.